Today we're going to be tackling quite possibly the most boring subject ever, the economy in Wizards Unite. Okay, I'm going to try and make it not boring. I swear to God. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Zoe, and this is Snitches and Witches, and you are looking fantastic today. Today we're going to be talking about, is Wizards Unite actually free? And I have taken the opportunity to break down the whole economy in Wizards Unite, and that is a lot of dedication because I'm an English major. I don't math. I'm not an economist. I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody help me! But also because, you know, I'm slightly artsy, I had to, of course, do something artsy with it. Every year, I do this thing called bullet journaling, and it keeps my brain headed in the right direction. And I've been doing it since about 2015. And so this is my current one. And as you can see by where my bookmark is, it's almost to the end. So I have just enough pages to get me through September, which means I have to start a new journal in October. So here's my October journal. We're going for green. It's gonna be nice. If you're interested, this is the Loic term. I'll throw all of my bullet journaling supplies into the description down below, and you can go check that out. They're affiliate links, so I get a little cut. So support a girl stationery habit. Anyway, so I have to take a bunch of the stuff from my old bullet journal that I reference pretty much all the time and put it into my new bullet journal so that I can just carry around like 1 or 2 journals instead of 5 or 6, which I tried this. This is Travelers, where you have like 8 or 9 little book. This did not help the problem. It made the problem worse. So this stays out on my desk pretty much all the time. So instead, I use just one, and I put over just a couple of my most useful spreads. And I decided I was going to add, so I've got one for, I have to fill out my moon phases one, I've got one for the moon phases, and I've got like goals in here, and I've got a vision board, and what my weekly routine looks like, and yay, that's fun. But we made this. Let's dive into this. So the first thing we have to do is we have to take the gold in game and translate it into real world currency. This would be incredibly difficult if it weren't for the fact that you can in fact buy gold in game. So we can get a basic idea of how much real world money each piece of gold is worth, which is, I'm gonna spoiler alert, it's far below market standard, okay? Just unless the wizarding world is using like 0.01% gold and it's mixed with just lake water. I don't understand how anybody's gold currency could be worth this. Anyway, I gotta get more coffee. Normally I script out these videos, but today I am kind of just winging it because I feel like it, and now I'm touching up doodles and everything's fine. So if this is a little rambly and a little brain blah and a little ranty, I'm only moderately sorry. So the first thing I did was I broke down each of the gold packages that you can buy in the store, and so there's 6 different packages, and the amount of value you get per package goes up, obviously, because, you know, if you could spend $100 in the game, Warner Brothers would be elated, you know? Girl, you'd make all their dreams come true. Obviously, the highest package is going to give you the most value. If you purchase $100 worth of gold in-game, 1 piece of gold then essentially equates to 83 cents. But if you go for that, $20 worth of in-game currency, with it averaging out to be about around 95 cents per piece of gold, that's actually a pretty good value as well. So that, I'd say, if you want to spend that amount of money in game, go for the 20 bucks. But as you can see, there's quite the spread between these different amounts, and if we can't really run a lot of very accurate calculations off of things ranging in, 40 cents between this, we can't do that. So instead what I did was I took all of the amounts and I got an average, and if you have ever done grade 9 math, then you know how to get an average out of something, okay? It's not rocket surgery. So that average comes out to be about 1.03 cents per piece of gold. So, I mean, yes, 1 cent. For our calculations, I kept those 3/100ths of a cent in because we're dealing with hundreds of pieces of gold. And yes, those 3 pieces of gold, when you're talking about something that's worth 300, actually does make a difference. We're going for accuracy. Accuracy. This is my inner Ravenclaw. We're fine. I've got a blinky battery light. Now we've got our base real world currency equivalent here. So 1 piece of gold equals 1.03 cents. So the first store that we dove into was Wiseacres. And this is where you get your keys, your dark detectors, your spell energy. Wiseacres, as far as a shop goes, is actually significantly underpriced. I feel like these are pretty good. 1 silver key will cost you 93.3 cents, but then if you want to get 4 silver keys for 325 gold, that is equivalent to $3.35. I told you that 3/100ths of a cent would come to play. But then that drops the silver keys down to 83 cents a unit. So you're saving 10 cents a unit. I know it's not a lot. I know it's not a lot, but these are things I think about. Then if you look at dark detectors, 1 dark detector is 120 gold, which brings it to about $1.25, $1.24. But then if you buy 3 dark detectors, this is where you get significant savings. For 325 gold, that brings it up to $3.35 for 3 dark detectors, or $1.11 per unit. And that is the same as about 13 cents per unit. And we're talking about like long game here. If you're buying these things like for community day or a day you're going out raiding and all of these other things, if you're spending, $3 or $4 every time you go out, that does add up. And so understanding where the best places is to spend your money, I'm trying to help you out here. Spell energy. This is where we get kind of tricky. If you equate spell energy to Pokeballs in Pokemon Go, then this feels bad. Especially since the gold coins in Pokemon Go are much, much, much closer to value of real world currencies. So this feels wrong. For 50 spell energy, it's going to cost you 100 gold, which is about 2 gold per energy, which basically means that spinning a sponsored stop, they're basically paying you 20 cents every time you go and dine at an inn. Just think about that for a second. You're getting paid 20 cents every time you go to a sponsored inn. Does that make sense? This is how I think about things. Anyway, it equates to about 2 cents a unit for energy to buy it in the shop. But this still, again, gives us a very good baseline. Every unit of spell energy you get is worth 2 cents. So, it's not terrible. Okay, it's still kind of bad. If you want to raise your spell energy, that's going to cost you 150 gold, and that's 10 slots. In real world currency, it's about $1.46. Each spell energy slot is worth 15 cents, and this is where the breakdown happens. See, if you go to an inn and you dine there, and each unit of spell energy is worth 2 cents, but in order to upgrade that, the slots required to do that actually costs 15 cents. In order for you to get your money's worth out of each of those slots, you have to go and visit 7 inns to keep it full. And you have to cap yourself out 7 times, essentially, before it's worth it, does that make sense? Let me break down my math here. Each unit of spell energy is worth 2 cents, but the slots to house it cost 15. So in order to gain that back, this is a weird concept to grasp, but I'm hoping I'm explaining it well. If each slot for every piece of spell energy is actually worth 15 cents, 15 cents per slot for 1 energy, but that energy is technically only worth 2 cents, in order to make that slot worthwhile, you have to fill it up 7.5 times. So essentially 8 times. Does that make sense? I fully understand that this is a bizarre concept and it might not make any sense, but I'm trying to equate value to things. There's just that to keep in mind. A pack of 10 level 1 runestones. When you get that bag of runestones, it's a 1 level 1 runestone for every single registry family. So you can like go out and spend more time doing wizarding challenges. So that costs you 40 gold, or real world currency 41 cents. So that means every time you get a runestone, it's worth 4 cents. It's worth a nickel. Cool. So that means every time you level up your registry family, you've basically paid yourself a nickel. Yay! I don't know if this makes it, if this helps anybody. I don't know. Slug and jiggers. This is where we get a little bit more insight. So a Barufio's Brain Elixir, you purchase it for 100 gold, which is about $1.03. And those do come in random drops from on occasion. So getting paid $1.03 with a random drop for a random foundable return, that's not bad. Same thing goes for the dark detectors. When you get that, that's 120 gold in game. But sometimes they just throw a dark detector at you, which means they're essentially paying you $1.25 just for playing the game. I realize it's not real money, but we're trying to find equivalents. Okay, a healing potion is worth 25 gold, which makes it about 26 cents. Same thing with Extimulo Potion. Strong Extimulo Potion goes up to 52 cents. Potent Extimulo Potion goes up to 77 cents. Trace Detection Tonic is kind of in the middle there. It's worth about 62 cents real world money. But if you want to get 4 of those, that the whole unit will cost you about $2.27, and each unit will only be about 57 cents. I like saving money, okay? If you can give me the Costco pick, I'm super happy. I love me some Costco, okay? Oh girl! Listen, we got the executive membership for a reason. The potions variety crate is pretty good value for money. You get 12 potions in that variety crate with 4 potent extimulos, 4 Barufios, and 4 healing. And if you translate that into real world currency, the whole crate is going to cost you $7.47. It's a little steep, but that brings down a potent extimulo potion from 77 cents to 62 cents. Barufios come down from $1.03 to that 62 cents. And the healing goes up to 62 cents, and you get 4 healing. You actually didn't do the overall value. Let me run some calculations on what this is actually worth and then how much money you're saving. Okay, ran the calculations. Basically, for the potions variety crate, you actually do save not a lot of money. It's 77 cents. But if that matters to you, then that matters to you. You basically save 75 gold, and that means it's 77 cents worth saved. For the Extimulo crate, that's actually very worthwhile. Once you run all of the calculations, basically the value of that one is 900 gold, or $9.28. Meanwhile, they're selling it for 800 gold, or $8.24. So that's 100 gold saved, or $1.04. That is very good value. So if you really need extimulos and you just don't want to take the time to brew them, that's how we do it, right there. Ingredient capacity. 30 slots for 150 gold, $1.55 for 30 slots, or 5 cents per slot. Honestly, if you're gonna spend your money extending anything, I would say go for that ingredient capacity. You'll be able to hold a lot more, you'll be able to brew a lot more for free, and then it will render all of those other calculations useless. So 150 gold for 30 slots isn't all that bad. At 5 cents a slot, basically you're paying yourself like a quarter every time you do that, every time you pick up ingredients. I might be wrong. I don't know. Potions capacity plus 10 for 200 gold, which means that's $2.06 for 10 extra slots. 20 cents per slot. Which actually, hang on, that makes a lot more sense than the spell energy does, because the only potion in here that's worth even close to that is healing and the basic extimulo, and those are 26 cents per potion. So you don't have to worry about that depreciation whatsoever. It doesn't take forever for it to become worth it. It literally becomes worth it immediately because of the costs of each of these individual potions. If you fill up that potion's capacity with just healing potions, it's worth it. Getting your money back at like 6 cents a slot. Yeah, don't spend your money on spell energy, is basically what this is telling me. Seeds and water capacity, 5 slots for 150 gold. Which basically means that each slot is worth about 31 cents a unit. That's by far the most expensive storage out of everything. 31 cents per slot. Don't upgrade your seeds and water capacity. That's all that tells me. If you have upgraded literally everything else, then maybe you can spend your gold there. But other than that, I wouldn't. I'm still running calculations on the cauldron rental, and I have to make my spread for that. I will come back to you with more cauldron tips and rental cauldron tips at a later date, but basically that's all I've got for you. If I could wrap up this video in any way, I don't know, maybe this helped you be able to equate things to real world currency in a way that was at all helpful, and maybe help you spend your currency in a different way. If I were you, I would never buy potions. Like literally ever. You could spend your money on trying to fill out the ingredients for those potions. Maybe I have to run calculations on what potions to spend ingredients on, and that's gonna take me a little bit because I have to figure all of that out and figure out what each ingredient is worth, essentially. And for that, I'm gonna have to make another spread for that, aren't I? Okay, that's gonna be a whole different thing though. If I were you, the thing I would spend gold on, if you're a rural player, 1000%, you spend that energy cap. Like, yes, if you've got that 150 gold, go and do that energy cap thing. Otherwise, up your potion storage capacity. That's what I would do. Yes, it costs 200 gold, but like I said, the value for each of those slots is 20 cents, and the cheapest potions value is 26 cents. That just makes sense to me. Up that as high as you can, work on your ingredients capacity at the same time, because that's cheap. Like, that's just cheap. Ingredients capacity is 5 cents a unit, and you get 30 slots. And that just, yeah. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, I guess smash like or something. Share it with your buddies. If you like me doing this random crap, go check out my skill tree stuff, because I do a lot of stuff with the skill tree, and I have the math to back up the circle nodes. So don't come for me. Don't do it. Don't come for me. I have the math. I did the math. I will show you. I'll show you my work. I did the math. See how much math I'm doing. I have problems. Okay, I need to go because mostly I just need to pee, which is just making me more manic. Okay, remember, I love you always. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.